Found me a skunk in my chicken coop. Bye-bye, buddy.
Hi, thanks for joining us on today's episode of Chicken Drama. I think I could probably have an entire YouTube channel on our chickens and the amount of drama that happens with our chickens. But today is all about why I was up all night, and it's not because of my pregnancy insomnia this time. It was because we found a skunk in the coop. So this is a chicken owner fail on our part. This is the coop behind me. We always lay with our boys to put them to sleep. And then the reality is I usually fall asleep too. So this is what happened last night, except this time my husband also fell asleep. What happens is we all lay down, put our kids to sleep, and then Eric, my husband, gets up and comes outside and closes the chickens in for the night to keep them safe. Well, he fell asleep too and didn't wake up until closer to midnight. My insomnia was really kicking in last night, so I was also very restless. I rolled over around 1 a.m. to check the time on my phone and realized that my husband had sent me a text at 12:30. And I thought, well, that's really strange that he would do that. I could see the TV was on downstairs, so I just thought he probably got up, but I was curious why he texted me. So I pick up my phone and my heart literally stops because he's like, I go to close up the chickens and I found a skunk in the chicken coop. And I just immediately thought that some of my girls were goners. All is well, everybody is okay. But the skunk was in there when he went to go close the door. And I'm gonna show you the chicken coop in a minute so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. He goes to close the door. There's a giant female skunk in the bottom, just macking down on eggs that we didn't collect yesterday. And Eric, of course, goes into panic mode. We have 2 chickens that roost in the bottom of the coop. They are right next to the skunk. Skunks, if you have chickens, you know this, will eat chickens. Skunks love chickens. Skunks love eggs, but skunks love to eat chickens. They pull their heads off and eat them. It is gruesome and traumatic. And whoa, what a close call. So let me show you the coop really quick. So here's home, and then this is where the chickens and the goats live. Let me take you out here and show you how we have the coop hacked up right now to try to help air it out. Hi, girls. You want to come out and forage? All right. Oh my, I scared that one. Okay, so here's their cute little coop. And this is the downstairs I'm talking about, and then the upstairs. These are the doors that were left open last night. So the skunk made its way in here, down low. And this is where a couple of them lay their eggs, is back in this corner, and this door is usually like half open like that. So they go back there and lay, and this is when, in that clip, you see Eric walk up to the coop, and you can see the huge skunk in here eating the eggs that we didn't collect. Now this side is normally one big piece, like a wall. We've been wanting to pull it off to build a door here just so we can have better access to clean it. These are also the 2 chickens that were almost skunk dinner. Anyway, so he's pulled that off today. He's gonna build a door. We added this roosting bar so they can get off the ground. That wasn't there before. And then this is where they usually sleep, in either this back corner or against the wall. And so when the skunk spooked, ran in through that door and literally just got behind the chickens and aimed her butt. It was a female at Eric. And this is ultimately where she ended up spraying whenever he spooked her. So it smells super, super strong right now. Actually, the whole farm does. It's getting a little better, but even the inside of the house is not that far away. Now, the upstairs is, so they climb their little ladder and they can go upstairs, and this is where their nesting boxes are. So there's 2 there. He's got the doors open, and there's 2 there, and this is other roosting bars for the chickens. Anyway, they really only use that nesting box in the back corner or down below. Oh my gosh, I just got a mouthful of skunk smell. Ugh. And they don't even really use these. The goats come in here and eat all the hay out of their nesting boxes. But anyway, this is what we're working with. Actually, let's look for eggs, because I think earlier when I was doing Instagram stories, well, there was a chicken in here. Eric might have grabbed her eggs already. Anyway, might as well clean in here too while we're at it. It is smelly. So as far as the chickens that roost upstairs, I wasn't like super concerned about them, and generally I'm not, because there isn't like a ladder that goes from the like inside the coop that goes from the downstairs to the upstairs. So, you know, I'm sure a raccoon or a weasel or something could climb that to get to them, but I'm not so sure about I don't know, are skunks like good climbers? I don't know this. I have never even seen a skunk here, and we've lived here for almost 2 years. So I'm just like kind of floored that this happened. But again, I don't normally worry about the girls up top. It's the girls on the bottom that I'm kind of like, you guys shouldn't be on the ground. Chickens don't naturally sleep on the ground. They would roost in trees if they had nowhere else to go. So these two, they're just kind of some funny girls. I will tell you that these two chickens that sleep downstairs were rehomed to us when their owner moved away. And I don't even know how old they are. She had them probably a year, and they lived in town in her backyard, and she like held them in her lap on her porch every night, and they were more pets than they were like poultry, I think is what homesteaders call them. We don't eat our chickens, we eat their eggs, but they're pets, and so they really don't have a great sense of self-preservation, these two specifically. The other girls we have will actually like take cover when a big bird flies by, or I don't know, they pay attention when my dog walks up to them, versus these two are just like, that's probably fine. So I'm glad they're okay, because they are the two sweetest birds that we have. It was an unfortunate ending, I will say, for the skunk, but it's kind of one of those situations where we have to protect them. And so, well, my husband is kind of like, it is what it is. I'm a little more like, I still don't want anything bad to happen to any animals, but let's be real. I have to be real about it. So I'm learning, we're all learning. So our chickens are some lucky ladies. Eric told me this morning, there have been times, I mean, very rarely, but there are times that we just forget to close them in, and then the next morning I'm like, oh, the chickens are out. Okay, great, they're fine. And they're in a fenced-in yard. You can see we use no-climb fencing, but we didn't bury it. It's pretty tall. We have the goats in there with them, but goats are not protective, right? Like, that's not helpful. So in general, every single night we close these chickens. And let me just tell you too, when we travel, or if we go camping or we go on vacation, I don't worry about horses. I don't worry about donkeys. I don't worry about goats, dogs. I worry about nothing except the fact that I'm afraid our chickens are gonna get eaten while we're gone. And we love them. We've had them since we moved onto the farm. We have 6 of them, and most of them have actually all of them have been rehomed to us whenever they had nowhere else to go. So even the chickens are literally rescues around here in some capacity. So they're very special to us, and we are usually very protective and on top of it. So, whoa, what a close call. The skunk did not get anybody. We're good. Oh, and another note too, fox are our biggest predators, and that's part of the reason that we have a livestock guardian puppy now, Ladybird, who you guys have seen. I'm actually working on an episode to show you how we handle her with the chickens, with the goats, things like that. Oh, sorry, I'm so bad at walking and recording. Anyway, that's part of the reason we got her. Our other dog is also very protective of the chickens, so whenever they're out free ranging, like I just let them out. They're under our table over here now. I make sure he's outside with them because we have had fox problems in the past, shortly after we moved in. But since our older dog has been out with the chickens, we haven't had a single issue. Actually, we haven't lost a single chicken, and eventually that will be the livestock guardian puppy's job as well, to kind of share that load of protecting the livestock around here. So I've got some episodes in the works for her, but right now she is not outdoors full time. She's not outdoors in the evenings, at night. So we have to make sure we lock them up, which I will do. We'll make sure we lock them up. So here's the final, doggies right behind me, the final door that Eric put together. So now we can get in here to clean better. That latch is down below. Oh, over here. So it keeps them locked in at night on a second end. And it's also able to air out from the skunk drama. Pretty sweet, huh, girls?